I've got the tea for you today. Yes, indeed. If you are new here, my name is Credit Coach Nicole Scott, and everyone is going to be mad at me because I am exposing the top 25 plus secrets in credit repair that nobody wants to tell you, but everyone wants to charge you, because if you knew better, you would do better. Welcome to my channel. My name is Credit Coach Nicole Scott. If you are new, make sure that you have subscribed, hit that thumbs up button, and make sure to watch all 25 videos inside the Credit Repair Secrets in 2025 playlist, because this is exactly what you guys need to know. Well, let's get into it, guys. If you are not part of the credit community, I highly recommend that you join, because inside of the credit community, you will have access to all of our previously recorded master classes, and everything is in here. Everything that's in here, you guys will have access to. So it's not like most of these other mentorships where if you pay for the community, you don't get access to all of the replays. And that is just, it kind of upsets me, especially when I join communities and I'm like, wait, I have to pay $1,000 to watch these replays? Like, this is crazy, right? What did I join the community for? But no worries here. You're going to have access to all of that and some. Now, if you want to purchase this guide that we're going to be going over, you're free, more than welcome to do so. It is very inexpensive. I've left a link below, but if you comment hacks, I will send you access to purchase this. But I still recommend watching all of the videos that are in the playlist. I've left a link for the playlist below. Let's get into it. We're talking bankruptcies today. If you have a bankruptcy on your credit report, depending what type of bankruptcy it is, it could potentially be on your credit report for up to 10 years. And nobody wants that, because those are just like an automatic denial in some cases, especially if it's recent, within the last, 3 to 4 years or so. It could still really hold you back. I mean, you could still build credit and, start reestablishing your credit profile, no problem. But in many cases, a bankruptcy is just never a great thing. So what we want to do is, there are different processes that we have to go through when it comes to a bankruptcy, because it's kind of like a special situation. Now, obviously, the courts do not report bankruptcy information to the credit bureau. So you guys can write the courts and get a letter, but it's not going to do you any good, because the courts are just going to send you a letter. And then if you try to send that letter to the credit bureaus, a lot of times they're just going to ignore you, because they're like, well, yeah, we already know that. We didn't get it from the court. So what happens is this, right? Your court information is uploaded to a system called Pacer. Pacer has public record information, and third-party data companies like LexisNexis and LCI, which is actually owned by TransUnion, they scrape the Pacer system and report that information to the credit bureaus, which is another reason why watching all of these videos is important, because we're going to have a whole video talking about these third-party data furnishers, and that's all inside of this guide. Knowing who those folks are, what they do, who you need to freeze, who you don't need to freeze, who you need to actually pull a report from. And in this case, you're going to need to pull your consumer report from LexisNexis. You can also freeze and opt out of LexisNexis. Unfortunately, you're not able to do that with LCI. LCI is kind of a funky system, and they do report bankruptcy information. Of course, they're owned by TransUnion, so they are the company that reports bankruptcy information to TransUnion. Now, LexisNexis, they are primarily a data furnisher, probably one of the largest data furnishers out there, and they have probably more information about you than you have on you, to be honest. So request your consumer statement. You'll see your bankruptcy on there. If you see anything else that you need to dispute, do it. They have to follow the same laws as the credit reporting agencies, the FCRA. So here are the steps just to kind of keep it easy. Request your report from LexisNexis, and then you're actually going to dispute the information with LexisNexis. I have a letter that is inside of my bankruptcy ebook right here. And you're going to get access to this bankruptcy ebook. It's like 65 pages long. But there is a specific letter inside of this ebook that you can basically just kind of copy and paste, insert your information in there. But it's a nice template, and this has worked for me very well. You can see inside of the ebook, there's a ton of other templates in here, template letters to help you guys get your bankruptcies removed from the credit bureaus. And sometimes it can be a process, right? Because they don't do it the first time around, but you have to just keep on disputing. So here is the bankruptcy bonus information inside of the ebook. You've got Verisk Financial, which is also now LCI. They are used primarily by TransUnion, but Experian has been known to use them as well. So what's going on right now is basically I called the credit bureau and was trying to find out what they would tell me, right? So sometimes it's good to call the credit bureaus and just kind of question them about things because they give out some good information. And a lot of times it will spark ideas in my head. It's like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. But it says right here that Experian verified that they're no longer using LCI. And I think I know why, is because they're owned by TransUnion. And a lot of times Experian and Equifax are using the data from LexisNexis. So basically that kind of brings us to this: how to dispute that information, what information to include. And basically this is it right here. So this is the letter to LexisNexis. You want to just list out your bankruptcy information, but it is short, it is simple, and it is to the point. And you can get this, you can screenshot it if you don't want to purchase the ebook, but the guide that we're going over is going to have links for different ebooks that will have reference or, just helpful information, because once you dispute the information or the bankruptcy with LexisNexis, you can, and they verify that they removed it because they're not able to verify it or whatever the case may be, they will send you a letter confirming that they've removed it and they have updated that information with the credit bureaus. But a lot of times the credit bureaus still might not take it off of your consumer report with them. So you can take a copy of that letter that LexisNexis mailed to you, or usually they mail it. I would recommend getting it in mail form, right? So that way you can make a copy of it and send it in to the credit bureau saying, hey, here is proof that you are reporting inaccurate, unknown, or fraudulent information on my credit report. Here's a letter from LexisNexis themselves saying that, it was an error and that they've actually removed it. So I'm asking you to block or remove this account from my credit reports, right? Now, I actually was working with a gentleman and he's part of the credit community. Amazing results he is getting. He had 3 bankruptcies on his credit reports when he first joined the community. And he has been putting in work overtime. He got all of the bankruptcies deleted from his credit. 3 separate bankruptcies just by calling in, treating this as if it were a full-time job. He would wake up early, he would hit the phones, and he did not stop until he got the results that he desired. He called in, he spoke to the fraud department, just like we would with the inquiries, because they have the ability to take this crap off of our credit reports. And that's exactly what we want to do. So again, process is simple. LexisNexis, request your report, dispute the information, use this letter that I give you guys, and you can call over the phone, you can email them, which I like to do because of course email is free, letter via email, and you can also mail them in a copy. Now, LexisNexis is just like the credit bureaus, the 3 major ones, Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. If for some reason you feel like you're not getting anywhere with them, you can take it up a notch and go to the CFPB and make a complaint against them. You can make a complaint against them to the Better Business Bureau. So this works for any type of account. The CFPB is there to assist you, but the goal is to challenge this information. A lot of times they're not able to verify it. The information doesn't match. They're using old information. It's just a mess of a situation. And the thing about it is there's millions and billions of consumer data being reported. So a lot of times once data is reported, they don't follow up with it. They don't care nothing about it. Once it's there until you do something about it. And what we want to do is get them to block this data or delete this data from our credit reports because it is unknown, fraudulent, wrong, inaccurate, whatever term you're going to use. I like using the word unknown or this is fraudulent information. I'm not saying I've been a victim of identity theft, but I'm saying this information is fraudulent because again, that's a key word that is going to trigger the system to get you over to that department, hopefully get a manual review so that way a real person can process your dispute versus this computer system that's probably just going to give you some sort of bull crap, automated answer. But here is the information here. The guide has the website for LexisNexis and how to request your consumer report with them and then follow up with the credit bureaus and send them the proof from LexisNexis. And my friends, you just have to keep on being consistent. Keep on keeping on. And sometimes it might take 6 months. Sometimes it might take longer. Okay, don't get discouraged because bankruptcies are probably one of the hardest things to get removed outside of late payments because it's such a long process and there's other people that are involved.